this is going to be part 1 of a series I'm going to be working on about not just parenting on the autism spectrum, but parenting a child who also potentially has autism herself. I don't know how many videos are going to be in it. I guess I'll just kind of talk until I don't have anything else to talk about. It's going to be one of those. First of all, right now, something I want to show you is I've been reading through this book, Parenting Girls on the Autism Spectrum. I highly recommend it. It is by Eileen Ripley Hall, and it's really good. It's got a lot of really good stuff in it, from not just, if you suspect your child might have autism, finding diagnosis. It has, their various life milestones, not necessarily the toddler or baby milestones that people typically think of, but girl milestones, like learning to dress appropriately, whatever is appropriate in your culture and household, it varies widely from place to place. Helping them eat right or healthily, what to do, if your child has sensory problems, even things like, what to expect from their schooling, signs and symptoms, friendships, imaginative play, even a lot of things about, like, when your family loses their balance, or, helping your child through relationships, all sorts of really good stuff, how to handle meltdowns, and, autism truths and myths. It's really cool. It's lunchtime in our household today, and Sam has been having some trouble with food lately. In fact, she is currently butchering her eggs in an attempt to not eat them. As I mentioned in a previous video, she did have her screening done this past week at the occupational therapy office. She definitely has some sensory issues going on. Her full evaluation is tomorrow. For obvious reasons, I won't have footage for that. They don't really allow you to videotape the evaluations and things. Plus, while she's in her appointment, I'll be in my appointment. So, but I will definitely let you guys know how that goes. Now, the thing about the screenings and the evaluations is, hold on, guys, is that they can screen as early as, I think they said they can actually screen for things as early as birth. But they will not, most professionals will not do a diagnosis on a child until they are 2 or 3. I've heard varying things, but it's 2 or 3 years old, because they have to actually be developed enough to get that social aspect in there as well, because, of course, as anyone who is on the spectrum themselves or knows somebody on the spectrum, the social aspect is part of the key, key features that they look for during a diagnosis. I remember they asked me a lot of questions whenever I had my diagnosis. They asked me a lot about, my friends, my family, how I did in social situations, things like that. So, but anyways, so we will eventually be seeking a formal diagnosis, but not, she's got my wallet now, not anytime soon, because of course she just won't be old enough. Give me that. You need money? What are you gonna do with money? So buy all the ice creams in the world. Yeah. Anyway, as you can tell by my sweatpants and t-shirt. Very, very soft t-shirt. It is a sensory sensitive day in our household as well. We had to take Sam to the doctor this morning. She's fine, but you know, she just had a weird rash, as toddlers do. So, she's pulled her cereal out of the diaper bag. I guess she's decided that's what she wants for lunch. Sam, come here, baby. Sammy, bring it to Mama. Anyway, she'll bring it when she's ready for it. Anyways. This is what parenting is, guys. Dealing with the craziness as it comes. But yeah, this book is awesome. I definitely recommend it. I actually bought this book when I was still pregnant. After we had found out we were having a girl, I think a couple days later. Because the chances of her also having autism are so high. Because I do. So I went ahead and bought this book while I was still pregnant. But I'm going to be talking to our occupational therapist tomorrow about her eating. She hasn't really eaten much today. She's been really funny about food lately. I guess I didn't quite realize it until today when the doctors were asking us about it. I don't know, like, normally she does okay, I guess, or at least I thought so. Until, you know, lunchtime, and I'm like, oh man, it really is kind of a struggle to get her to eat stuff. So I'm going to be talking to the OT about it tomorrow, and probably I'll give her pediatrician a call to see if they recommend us getting her the little, like, Ensure drinks for the toddlers. That's actually something they recommended in the chapter on eating that I didn't really think about. Just to kind of help supplement her. Part of the evaluation tomorrow will be over food. So they'll be kind of testing her how she does with different textures and things. I'm really funny about food. So I'm really funny about what foods I will make in our house. And so I guess that might have been impacting the foods that she will eat, because I don't really give her mixed textured foods, because I don't really eat mixed textured foods, so I don't make mixed textured foods. I try very hard not to make foods that we won't all eat. So, for example, like, I don't buy a lot of things that I like but Jim doesn't, just because it just seems like a little bit of a waste to, you know, buy foods that we're not all going to be able to eat. So, you know, and a little stingy, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to check into maybe getting her the little Ensure protein milkshake thing that I can just put in her sippy cups and give her to kind of just supplement her diet. She did, I noticed, lose some weight at the doctor's today. Well, she didn't lose it at the doctor's, but she had lost weight since the last time we'd gone to the doctor. And it wasn't even a pound, but still, you know, she'd finally hit 20 pounds the last time we went, and now she's lost weight again. Samantha Jean. Hold on, guys. Toddlerhood, as you do. Anyways, back to what we were talking about, parenthood. Oh yeah, that's right. So, yes, that's something we're going to talk about tomorrow. Something we have started doing that I really am trying for us not to get into the habit of doing is when she won't eat, we're really bad about just putting her high chair down to the lowest setting and putting, like, cereal, like healthy cereal on it, like plain cornflakes, plain Cheerios, Kix. We're really bad about putting her high chair all the way down and just putting cereal on there for her to graze on when she won't eat. And that's really not a habit that I'm happy we're getting into, so I might have to do something about that. I just did it a few seconds ago. But it's really bad. They really need to learn to eat at meal times, things like that. So I don't want her to think it's okay to just graze all day. But again, something I'll have to talk to the occupational therapist about, because she hasn't really been very good about eating. Or at least I, again, hadn't realized she hadn't been good about eating until just now. So, that's another thing about having autism and also parenting with autism, is that theory of mind. For those of you who have never heard about the theory of mind, it is your ability to put yourself in someone else's perspective. But also, part of it, I do believe, is being able to kind of notice things about other people. This is why I don't usually do these videos until after they're asleep. But just notice things about other people. It's hard enough for me to really kind of notice things about myself. Even like how I feel about things. For example, I might know that I feel bad, but it might take me several hours to even a few days to realize that I feel jealous, or I feel guilty, or I feel ashamed about something. It might take me a lot longer than the average person, because I don't have a very good, I've seen it called emotional intelligence, or emotional IQ, but I've also equally heard a lot of people say that they don't like that term because it's not wholly accurate. Kind of like the functioning labels that I was talking about the other day, if that wasn't in one of the videos that got deleted. I tried 4 times to upload a video the other day, guys, and every single time I had to refilm it. It was horrible. But, so it's just, it's just like the functioning labels. It just doesn't really strike me as being a wholly accurate term. Because, I know those emotions. I'm aware of those emotions. It just might take me a little longer to figure out which one it is that I'm feeling in that moment. So, it's like, for example, when Jim and I make large decisions, we do it over the course of several days to a week, or even longer. Like, for example, when we decided to start trying to have a baby, we discussed it for, a while before we actually started trying, because it might take me a long time to realize, I am really bad about immediately going with the most logical response, and then realizing later that logical doesn't exactly dictate how I feel about something. So I might say yes to something because it's the most logical response, but then realize later that logic doesn't always dictate my emotional state, and I react to things like I react to them like I'm angry about them or I'm upset about them, but I can't quite, it takes me a long time to fully comprehend or make sense of that, where that a negative emotion is coming from. Hi, baby. But she's walking around with her nephew's lunchbox right now. But anyways, this is just kind of serving as an introduction to the series. Again, I definitely recommend this book if you are not on your way to get it already. I got it at McKay's for $3, maybe. So, I imagine it's probably not a very expensive expensive one on Amazon. I didn't look it up before the video. I probably should have. Sorry, guys. But anyways, just something to kind of keep in mind. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next video for this series.